The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parx Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Good morning and welcome to Let's Go Racing. Danny Gibson along here with my co-host Dick Girardi, here to bring you some exciting racing from around the globe. On today's show, we have very special guest star Pete Peterson from our Pennsylvania Equine Coalition and president of our Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association to talk about the fake news that came out in this week's Philadelphia Inquirer and tell you the truth about the state of Pennsylvania horse racing and some exciting horse racing around the globe. We had our $12 million Dubai World Cup with Mystic Guide as our favorite for trainer Mike Stidham. And we'll check out our top 3-year-olds going for the Kentucky Derby points in our Grade 1 Florida Derby, where heavy favorite Greatest Honor goes for 4 in a row for trainer Shug McGahee. And at Turfway Park, the Jeff Ruby Stakes runs with a full field with co-favorites Gretzky the Great and Tarantino, all on today's show. Joining us now is Pete Peterson, our very special guest from the Pennsylvania Equine Coalition. Pete, our industry took a huge hit this week, some bad press, that erroneous article that came out in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Can you shed some light to everyone about that?
Sure. It was a very unfortunate article. In fact, that we've made so much progress. The last thing that any owner or trainer wants to see is a horse fatality on the track. So there's been so much effort put into reducing those fatalities. Owners and trainers, they make not only an emotional investment in each horse, but a financial investment. So the goal, obviously, is to get to 0 fatalities, and there's been real progress made in that area. From the Mid-Atlantic region between 2010 and 2015, the average fatality rate was 2.4 fatalities per 1,000 starts. Here at Parx in 2020, it was 1.1. So there's been like a 66% decrease from thoroughbred fatalities in Pennsylvania from 2013 until the present. There's been so much progress, and it's a shame that the article didn't capture the positive things that have been happening in the sport.
Pete, among many things in the story that just didn't make a lot of sense to me was they had a chart up there that I think you just referred to.
Yeah.
If they had used their own chart, they would have understood the progress. What happened?
Sometimes I think some reporters, some outlets have an agenda, and they wanted to tell a certain story. There was a positive story to tell, and so that's what's really the shame of it, is that there's so many good things to be told about what's happening. Here in Pennsylvania, they have implemented the, for example, horse mortality review boards. Every fatality on the track is reviewed by a panel of veterinarians, trainers. They look at, a range of different issues to see what was the potential causes of that, and they make recommendations, policy recommendations, to take steps to address that. Here at Parx, they're part of the Mid-Atlantic Racing Consortium that's looking at all these different policies they can implement to make racing safer, not just for jockeys, but for the horses as well. And a lot of those have been implemented. There's been a ban on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We refer to them as aspirin, Aleve, Tylenol. You can't administer more than one type of those in a given week before a race. There's a 48-hour withdrawal period for those now. So there's all of these things that are happening. You implement that for horses, but you can't imagine requiring that of human athletes, for example. So there's all these things that are happening, and there's all these steps that the industry is taking because the health and welfare and safety of the horses is very important to people in the industry. They care about these horses. There's an emotional attachment and there's also a financial investment into them as well.
And specifically at this racetrack, we pointed out all the time, Danny obviously is intimately involved in Turning for Home. More than 3,200 horses now have been retired off this racetrack in almost 13 years of this program. That everybody that in the business understands how good that is. Was that explained to the people that were involved in the story?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that were explained to the reporter. However, they chose to exclude certain facts that didn't fit the narrative that they wanted to tell. And that's unfortunate because Turning for Home is a fantastic program. It takes these retired racehorses who, once their racing careers have ended, and it finds them new homes and new careers so they can go on performing and giving back and doing what they're meant to do, so they can find new purpose.
Well, thank you so much, Pete, for shedding some light. And there was a lot of negative and positive stories should have been told there.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you for letting me tell the good story we have to say here at Parks in Pennsylvania.
Keep up the good work for you and your team. And time to get to some horse racing. Our local race of the week is brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. And starting with our feature race, our local race of the week, Parks Racing's 8th race on Monday, an allowance race for fillies and Marigold in 6.5 furlongs for a $40,000 purse. Our favorite was the number 1 Map of America at even money.
Yeah, just trained by Michael Moore, and it's got a really good line, but it's only won the one time. Tried to just get that second win in this AL.
And our second favorite was the number 3 Precious for trainer John Service at 3-2 with jockey Frankie Pennington.
Yeah, and she's won a couple of times, Danny, and is actually won a stake as a 2-year-old way back in 2019. I can't believe we're already through 2020 into 2021.
Solid group of sprinters here. Let's get to the call.
22-2, good speed up top. Outside, Glory Dia moves up now on even turns second. Map of America continues to stalk third. Precious picks up a position while ground saving fourth, and she's handled confidently here by Pennington, 4 lengths off the battle. Sweet Turn is fifth as they come to the top of the stretch. 3 back to the 2 trailers, Arima and Darling's Cure head of the lane above par narrowly. Outside, Glory Diaz second. Precious weaves through traffic now, and Pennington moves out 4 wide as she looks to slingshot off that turn. 46 for the half, and here's Precious bearing down. Precious takes the lead and kicks away at will.
And Precious put on the afterburners. What a performance to win with jockey Frankie Pennington just drawing away trainer John Service. And owner Greg Newell was here, and boy, you could hear him cheering his girl home down the stretch.
Had a lot of time to cheer. Wins by 11 lengths. I mean, this looked like on paper a fairly evenly matched field, and then it wasn't. Precious, the final 16th of a mile in 6 seconds flat. I mean, she was flying, and I would think, Danny, you told me they're thinking about a stakes race next off that performance.
I saw jockey Frankie Pennington coming back to the winner's circle, and I said, boy, that looked fun. And he said, it was fun. It's fun when they win like that. Our girl Map of America, I talked to the owners, and they said they're going to try the turf possibly next, and they knew that distance might not be for her. So they were heartbroken.
She made that move at the top of the stretch. Looked like she was going to be there, and then just faded out of it at the end. So yeah, try a little shorter, maybe a different surface.
What a performance by Precious. We're going to head to our first break. When we come back, our Dubai World Cup, $12 million, one of the world's richest race. Don't go anywhere here on Let's Go Racing.
And the front runner is hypothetical, but Mystic Guide travels up strongly on the outside.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now, and you'll be automatically enrolled in a Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
New to Pennsylvania, Tappett's most precocious son in the Mid-Atlantic, Tight 10, a brilliant graded 2-year-old and a 3/4 brother to the red-hot sire Constitution. Twice graded placed at 2, Tight 10 won his debut for fun, sired by America's 7-time leading sire Tappet, whose other sons include leading stallions Constitution, Frosted, Tapiture, Tapizar, the sire of the great Monomoy Girl. Tight 10 entered stud in 2021 at the introductory fee of $2,500 live foal. Jump on the Tappet train by booking your best mares to Tight 10 today.
Did you know the Pennsylvania horse racing industry has created over 100,000 plus acres of open green space across the state? Space that keeps Pennsylvania beautiful. And we do it with zero tax dollars while creating tens of thousands of jobs.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back. We're going to head into our national coverage. Let's head to Maidan Racecourse, the $12 million Dubai World Cup, 1.25 miles. U.S. sending some great horses over. Our favorite was Mystic Guide, the number 10 for trainer Michael Stidham, gets Luis Saez.
Yeah, this horse was pretty good last year once they put the blinkers on, Danny, and just had a breakthrough race in the Razorback out of 108 Buyer, and of course owned by Godolphin. So they said, well, why wouldn't we run in the Dubai World Cup? And here they are.
Yeah, definitely. Magni Colors, the number 8 horse, 9-2. This horse, first time on the dirt, it's William Buick.
Yeah, I mean, a really strong combination. The question is, what about the dirt? That's the issue.
Another Godolphin horse as well. Well, let's get to the call out at Maidan.
25-13 was the lead as they run down the back behind. A hypothetical for Macau Barcelona. Led over the stablemate in second, Capizano. Up on the outside is Mystic Guide, followed by Chua Wizard. Then came Salute the Soldier. Gifts of Gold on a wide trip around the outside. Jesus' team trying to work off the fence. Magnicor is picking up ground, then Title Ready, Sleepy Eyes Tighter. The Great Collection and a Justa Fiscal. Turning down the side in the cup, and the front runner is Hypothetical, but Mystic Guide travels up strongly on the outside. Chua Wizard down on the fence, followed by Salute the Soldier. Capizano gives it away, followed then by Magnicor under pressure. On the outside of it is Gifts of Gold. Jesus' team trying to pick its way through, then the Great Collection and a Justa Fiscal. Title Ready, and back and behind them with Sleepy Eyes Tighter. They turn into the footsteps of history, and it's Mystic Guide going up to challenge Hypothetical. Then Sleepy Eyes Tight, Chua Wizard continues to come on, then Magnicor. Jesus' team are down the outside, but Mystic Guide races away in the cup.
Well, Mystic Guide put in the performance we really thought he could, and trainer Mike Stidham said he just saw 40 years of his career and was just so elated, him and his wife there, and they've been such a strong team, so thrilled for them and representing the United States.
Yeah, no question. Look, Mike was trying to figure out a way to get this horse's top performance. We mentioned the blinkers, and obviously the race at Oaklawn was the best race the horse had ever run, and people are thinking, well, boy, can he do that again? Well, he did it again. He won by almost 4. You know, he's going to give him a lot of time, talking about bringing him back in the summer, maybe looking at horses like the races like the Woodward or the Pacific Classic, and obviously trying to get to the Breeders' Cup Classic in the fall, which will be this year at beautiful Del Mar Racetrack in California.
Definitely will be someone we'll see in our handicap division. Kind of a crazy start to the race. We did have 2 horses scratch, unfortunately. Great Scott got loose in the post-parade. Jockey Frankie Dettori did not look happy.
No.
And another one, Military Law, the number 9, broke through the gate. So, you know, bummer for them. They put all that time and work, and for them not to get to run their horses.
Goings on pre-race. The race itself played out pretty much according to form, but yeah, I don't know what the heck was going on over there pre-race.
But we're so thrilled for Michael Stidham. And he does run here at Park sometimes, and stabled at Delaware and Monmouth. Just great guy everybody was rooting for. And yeah, Gulfstream Park, Grade 1 Florida Derby. And Shug McGahee with Greatest Honor, our favorite, 4-5. They're going for a 4th win in a row with this horse.
Yeah, Greatest Honor was really impressive visually in all of his wins down here in Florida. But he hasn't run particularly fast yet, Danny. Only 89 Beyer figure. That's not going to get it done. He's going to have to run faster at some point if he wants to be a serious contender for the Derby.
Definitely. Nova Rags, Bill Motson's the number 1, 11-1. And just a huge, nice group of solid horses here. Collaborate, 9-2. Saffie Joseph, they had high hopes for this horse. Tyler Gaffleon gets them out.
Yeah, they did. I mean, his second race was a big breakthrough. And it's interesting, back in the day with a horse like that who just run 2 times, they would never think about the Florida Derby, but everybody wants to run in the Kentucky Derby. So if a horse gives one good performance, the next thing you know, they're in and they're trying.
You never can know when these 3-year-olds are going to step up. And don't forget Spielberg, Bob Baffert sends one. And he was actually in Florida. He doesn't go to Florida that often, but he was there.
It's the first time he's had a horse in a Florida Derby, which is kind of amazing when you think about it, all the races Baffert has run.
Why don't we get to Pete Aiello with the call of the Florida Derby.
Nova Rags leads narrowly as Soup and Sandwich is up alongside second. Collaborate on the outside as a joint third alongside Quantum Leap. 2 back to Sigiloso, then Known Agenda. Spielberg is 3 wide. Papa 2 is racing together with Hirafales. Now Jose Ortiz, he has Greatest Honor down toward the inside. He'll need a little racing room. He just tapped on the brakes while 10th and still far back to Southern Passage. The opening quarter was 23-2. The half mile was 47-3. They race to the half mile point. In the Florida Derby, Soup and Sandwich continues to tussle with Nova Rags. Collaborate has been 3 wide throughout, but he's in range. Quantum Leap is next. Known Agenda needs a way out. Greatest Honor is hemmed in traffic as Sigiloso is alongside. Papa 2 tries to make ground. Then it's a length and a half to Hirafales, who drops back. Southern Passage is trailed throughout. Less than 3 furlongs to go. Soup and Sandwich has come away with the lead. Nova Rags tries to cling to in second. Known Agenda is being asked to quicken, and he wants to get to the outside. Collaborate's not keeping the hole closed, so here comes Known Agenda. Greatest Honor's on his back after 3 quarters. In 1:12-1, Known Agenda is now on to take over the the lead. It's Known Agenda and Irad Ortiz Jr. now moving away from Soup and Sandwich, who's back to second. Then Greatest Honor and Nova Rags, 16th to go. It's Pletcher in the Derby again.
Irad Ortiz gets the win on Known Agenda, the number 5 horse for trainer Todd Pletcher.
6 Florida Derbies, Danny, count them. And 2 of those Florida Derby winners, of course, went on to win the Kentucky Derby. Irad set a record for most wins. The championship meet it just ended, so that's a combination. You'll certainly see them in Kentucky. 94 Beyer, a career top. Blinkers, second-time blinkers, so maybe that was the trick for Todd. And obviously this horse is really well bred. It was interesting. It was the Curlin Florida Derby, and this is a son of the great 2-time Horse of the Year, Curlin.
Owned by St. Elias Stables, Vinny Viola.
Yep.
And he's been to Parks. He ran a horse named Army Mule here on Pennsylvania Derby Day.
I remember
you
talking
will
to
not
him.
Find a classier fella.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And he's a good friend with our good friend, West Point graduate Terry Finley.
Unfortunately, Greatest Honor just literally was in the traffic jam of his life. Jose was doing everything to try to get him out. Couldn't get him out, but he still got up for a nice third.
Yeah, I think the issue with this horse, frankly, is he just doesn't have that turn of foot that you need for races, the big races. He's a grinder, and man, you can't grind in races like a Kentucky Derby unless the race falls apart, which doesn't happen that often lately. So yeah, I'm a huge Shug fan. We all are.
Too.
I just don't see it. This horse has got to run faster, and he just hasn't done it yet.
Absolutely. Soup and Sandwich, a nice second with Johnny Velasquez, Mark Hasse. That horse ran a game second place finish.
He did. In fact, Keith Jones texted me that morning. Our buddy Keith Jones said he liked Soup and Sandwich because whenever he took his late father out, he always wanted a soup and a sandwich.
Well,
so that was his
it.
horse on Saturday.
Let's head to Northern Kentucky, Turfway Park, the Jeff Ruby Stakes on their first year Tapeta surface. Our favorite was Tarantino, formerly trained by Bob Baffert, now with Rudolph Brissett, the number 7 horse at 5-2.
Yeah, and ridden by Florence Giroux, seems to be on a lot of live 3-year-olds here in March and April.
Co-favorite was Gretzky the Great, number 10, owned by Gary Barber and Eclipse Thoroughbreds, 5-2, trained by Mark Hasse with Chris Landeros.
Yeah, this is a horse who had a solid 2-year-old season. The question is, are you going to be good enough to be involved in these really good 3-year-old stakes? But certainly fast, figures to be in the hunt for the pace.
Full field. I have a feeling anything can happen in this race. Let's get to the call to Jeff Ruby.
St. Hood. Moonlight Strike to the outside, now crosses and clears as they take on the first turn, where Moonlight Strike, really headstrong, shows the way 2.5 lengths. St. Hood has deferred to second. Gretzky the Great stalking to the outside in third. Down on the inside, Awesome Jerry is fourth early. Hockey Dad out in the clear from fifth. Dynamite is sixth and about 7 or 8 off the pace. Then comes Like the King, who's moving with tandem with Hard Rye Guy. Then a link further back to King's Ovation and a couple links further back to Smiley Sabaka, and almost all but pulled up. Tarantino, the big favorite, is at least 30 links out of it up the backside. Quarter was 22-4, half mile 46-4. Moonlight Strike, the leader, shows away by a length and a half, just outside a half mile to go in the Ruby. Gretzky the Great still second. Hockey Dad in the clear from third. St. Hood to the inside in fourth. Dynamite now moves a closer fifth. There goes Hard Rye Guy up to the outside, cut loose to the inside. Awesome Jerry. Like the King is being asked to quicken. Then King's Ovation, Smiley Sabaka as they race around the turn. 3/4, 111-3, and here they come, 4 abreast outside the quarter pole. Hockey Dad comes calling for the lead. Gretzky the Great to the inside. Dynamite a 3-wide third, and Hard Ride Guy set to pounce from fourth. In behind horses, St. Hood has found his feet, and Like the King is closing in. Many chances as they turn on down in the 50th edition of the Ruby. And up to the outside, Hard Ride Guy just exchanged bumps with Like the King, but Like the King nonetheless is forging to the front outside the 16th pole. It's Like the King in front. Down along the inside, Hockey Dad still fighting on. Late on the scene, St. Hood down to the wire. Hockey Dad, Like the King, Like the King.
Like the King getting the win, and what an exciting finish. A lot going on there at the end, Dick.
Yeah, there really was. and Drayden Van Dyke, who's come east from California, all of a sudden he wanted to get some Derby possibilities. Well, he's got one for certainly one of the best trainers out there, Wesley Ward. Whether this horse is good enough, Danny, is really unclear. 86 Beyer, obviously that's not going to get it done, but that was on the Tapeta. Next time we're running on the dirt, so it's really a guessing game with where this horse fits in the Derby package.
Wesley Ward, best known for some of his turf starters and going over to Royal Ascot.
Absolutely.
And Drayden Van Dyke has a very famous jockey agent, Gary Stevens,
Yeah.
former famous jockey Gary Stevens. now Drayden's jockey agent, so I'm sure he gives him some good tips.
Yeah, Gary's been doing a lot of TV, and he said when Drayden moved east, he said, hey, you need an agent, and he's the agent, and obviously he's got him lined up with some pretty good ones. Wesley Ward actually said when he was a rider, it's hard to believe when you look at Wesley now, but he was a rider at one time, that Gary was his idol. So it's kind of cool that they all got together to win the Jeff Ruby Stakes, S-T-E-A-K-S Stakes.
We like it. But yeah, a lot going on at that finish. And Tarantino, I mean, just broken a tangle. Obviously, the jockey wrapped up, took care of him. And like you said, he's going to move forward and go to the...
They're going to run him in the bluegrass today. So, yeah, I mean, it's like they just said nothing happened. It was like a gallop in the morning. The horse got nothing out of it, so they're going to wheel him right back. Obviously, they're trying to get him to the Derby. They'd like to see him run well, and he could get some points in the bluegrass.
Well, look forward to see him moving forward. We're going to head to another break. We'll be back just on the other side. Don't go anywhere on Let's Go Racing. We're going to have our jockey and trainer of the week.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parx Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parx is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parx Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parx Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parx Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parx Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parx Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Welcome back. Our jockey and trainer of the week brought to you by Turning for Home, our racehorse retirement program that we're so very proud of, working side by side with our horsemen to retire their horses for over 12 years now. And we have another great Turning for Home success story spotlight, Healthcare Heroes, named especially for our Healthcare Heroes we had last year. Healthcare Heroes is a striking, bay gelding, regally bred by multiple graded stakes winner Honor Code out of the mare Appealing Bride, just by the great sire Unbridled Song. Hero sold with a high price tag of $335,000 as a yearling, but was not quite fast enough to be the top racehorse he was bred to be. So trainer John Service, Kentucky Derby winning trainer and PTHA board member John Service, put him in Turning for Home. And as you can see, he's on the path to a different kind of greatness in a different arena. He lives with his new family in Alabama, and he's learning to be a top show horse. But he's still enjoying himself along the way, getting hugs, celebrating New Year's Eve, and of course his birthday. His new family even bought him his brand new own truck and trailer, so he arrives to the horse shows in style. But Hero's doing awesome. Back to our jockey and trainer of the week. Our jockey of the week is jockey Michael Sanchez. Rattled off a 3-win day the other day. Not just 3 wins on a day, but 3 wins consecutively in a row. And Michael was our leading rider in 2020 and 2019, co-leading rider with jockey Frankie Pennington. And our trainer of the week is trainer John Kirby, 3rd generation horseman. We did a story, Dick and I, on John Kirby, and he's really coming into his own, and love rooting on our young trainers, our next generation. So thrilled with him. We're going to head to some race recap brought to you by the Pewter Stable. Check him out at pewterstable.com. Become an owner today with the great partnership at Pewter Stable. We're going to go back to Maidan Racecourse, 100 Kentucky Derby points on the line. The UAE Derby Grade 2 going 1 mile and 3/16. And wow, full field.
Full field, and it's interesting here. I mean, this is such a difficult race to handicap because they're coming from all over. They're coming from turf. You don't know how they're going to do on dirt. But the 10, Rebels Romance, is going to blow this field away. I mean, win by, what, 5 lengths at the wire. And if this connections seem familiar, they should. Charlie Appleby, William Buick. I mean, these are among the best in the world, but you think of them more as grass people. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they can come to the Kentucky Derby if they want to. We'll see if they make the trip.
Continuing on Dubai World Cup night, they had the Dubai Shima Classic and Saudi Cup, $20 million Saudi Cup Derby winner. Mishrif takes a start here. He's back on the turf, his old surface.
Yeah, this is actually kind of an amazing thing. Now, Mishrif, if you remember, actually ran down Charlatan in the Saudi Cup up, the $20 million race on the dirt, where he showed a lot of speed. In this race, Mishriff is last with young jockey David Egan, longer on the turf, and you're thinking, there's no way a horse can do this in a month. Well, he's going to do it. He's going to come and close, and I cannot think he's going to get up to win this thing at the wire of any horse in modern times that has done something like this. You're talking about a $20 million dirt race, then a month later, what, a $6 million, $5 million grass race. It's insane. This is right now, this is the best horse in the world.
Time for our Eye on Racing, and boy, what a racing day we have. It's the Wood Memorial up at the Big A, and Park sends out 3 horses.
Yeah, not only do we have Brooklyn Strong, right, we also, who else do we have, Dan?
We have Market Maven for trainer Penny Pierce. It's a one-stable barn. The guy bred this horse, and PA bred,
It's a great
and he
story.
owns it. And we have Capo Kane.
Right.
I talked to trainer Harry Weiner. They fixed some things, they're regrouping, and they still believe in their horse, and they're taking their shot.
And Danny V really believes in Brooklyn Strong. He's incredibly confident. Obviously, this is his first race this year. And I don't want to be a downer or anything, but since 1937, there hasn't been a single horse with one prep to go back and win the Kentucky Derby. But you know what? There's always a first time, but hopefully he can qualify. Needs to get in the top 2 today to qualify for the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, major points on the line. And yeah, he called jockey agent Angel Cordero for Manny Franco and said, I'm not 100% ready, I'm 1,000% ready. So like you said,
I like Danny's confidence. Of course, he missed some training time. The horse got a little ill, so it hasn't gone like he wanted. Obviously, he would have rather had another prep, but you know what? If Danny says he's ready, and that Remsen, that was as good a race as a 2-year-old ran all last year.
I think a closer is going to be dangerous in this race, and I think it's going to set up perfectly for him. They also have their Grade 1 Carter up there, and Keeneland starts today.
Yeah,
how excited. I know Bruce is excited. He'll be out there next week. We're thrilled.
We got Bluegrass. We got Santa Ana Derby. We got all of it this week. So many of the big final preps today.
Come hang out at Parks, do your simulcast betting here, and check out our mobile app. Time to get to our final break. When we come back, news and notes. Don't go anywhere here on Let's Go Racing.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now, and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
New to Pennsylvania, Tappett's most precocious son in the Mid-Atlantic, Tight 10, a brilliant graded 2-year-old and a 3/4 brother to the red-hot sire Constitution. Twice graded placed at 2, Tight 10 won his debut for fun, sired by America's 7-time leading sire Tappet, whose other sons include leading stallions Constitution, Frosted, Tapiture, Tapizar, the sire of the great Monomoy Girl. Tight 10 entered stud in 2021 at the introductory fee of $2,500 live full. Jump on the Tappet train by booking your best mares to Tight 10 today.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. We're going to head into news and notes brought to you by the Granny Fund. The Granny Fund helps us with our continuing education here for our backstretch community. And back to talk about Aqueduct. They had their big claiming championship day, and Parks had a great showing. Scott Lake won with Mia Bella Rosa. Alan Bedard got a second with Town Jack. And Tyler Service got a real solid third with Sugar Ray, too.
He did. I actually texted Tyler, and the horse got a 94 buyer, which is a really, really good number at this stage. And yeah, Mia Bella Rosa was very impressive for Scott, as it figured to run well and did. And it's always nice to see Scott in the winner's circle anywhere.
Always rooting on our Parks home team. And some sad news, longtime horseman Dave Carr sadly passed away. A lot of us know Dave Carr back here. He was a trainer and he owned horses. And one of his favorite stories was Shug McGay. He actually started out as a hot walker for him. So we all love Dave's stories, and he'll be sadly missed, and our thoughts with his family. But thank you so much for joining us on this week's Let's Go Racing. Come visit us at the track. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, live racing, post time 12:55. See you next week. Thank you so much.